Hey everybody, welcome to the Dark Souls 2 review. This is your three amazing hosts, Danny, Josh, and Aaron.
Sup? I've delayed the recording for 30 minutes because somebody was being a dick.
And you ran off to get food.
I told you if you keep dicking around, I'm going to go get food. I'm hungry.
I feel like this video is going to sound more like a podcast type video than anything else.
I'm not staying on here for 3 hours.
I'm kind of hoping we don't go over an hour.
Oh, hurry up.
Alright. So, first let's talk about the base game, Dark Souls 2. What we like, what we dislike. We'll get to our I'm sure we have plenty of gripes.
So many gripes.
Yeah. Okay, Josh, you go first.
Yes. I liked it. Overall, I liked it more than I hated it, but it felt like there were a lot of retextured enemies, a lot of reused enemies, a lot of reused bosses, too many unneeded bosses.
In the base game?
Yeah. Or not retextured, just too many unneeded bosses.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, there was kind of a boss for just about everything.
And there wasn't really a boss that was like, oh shit, it was more like, oh, another one.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized what I need to do in my world. I still need to go kill the rat bosses.
Oh yeah,
And
that's an example of a completely random ass boss.
yeah, I mean,
Don't even have
like,
to do.
still beat the game.
Like, I went ahead and beat the two of them because I wanted the flying feline boots.
I tried to, but I mostly did it because I went the wrong fucking way when I was trying to get the dark pyromancy flame or whatever it's called.
But yeah, overall I did like it because I did enjoy playing it. Gameplay was fun, but there were just certain parts that, like, whenever you got to a boss fight, I was never impressed.
Yeah, like there were, like, some of the other two games. At least they have some fairly impressive and sometimes even fun bosses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A non-example of that is the second Asylum Demon. He's just an a-hole.
Fuck that one. I never beat that son of a bitch. Never. Then again, I haven't gone back to try him again, and it's been a while.
Yeah, but I guess that pretty much sums it up.
How about you, Danny?
As much as I want to say I did not like the game, I did enjoy playing it in parts. There was a lot of it that was annoying, frustrating, and definitely fucking grating as hell. There were certain mechanics that were taken away that should have stayed, certain mechanics that were added that should have never even been fucking considered.
Hey.
For one, the fucking soul memory shit. That just should have... No.
Yeah, that
It did not make things easier.
That
It
was
made it
probably
worse.
their worst idea.
It's like, in my opinion, that just made trying to connect really hard, especially when you have somebody in the party who likes to grind for hours without telling anybody.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know about the effect of the soul memory at the time. That's my excuse.
But still,
And
why...
in his defense, I think he told us, we just didn't care at the time.
Well,
Yeah, but why did he have to grind so much?
because that's one thing I'm really good at these type of games is just the mindless grinding. Because I will throw something
Any other
up
game than
to-
Dark Souls. Any other game than Dark Souls. Especially this one. Because this one made it really annoying to do that. There was just too many spots in this game where it's not so much skill as you're getting swarmed with fucking enemies.
Yeah,
That's not difficulty, that's retardation.
That's fake difficulty.
Yes.
Just I don't like swarmed enemies. I prefer challenging enemies with clever AIs
Yes.
over just, hey, let's throw 30 enemies at once at you.
Like take the first Dark Souls. Like certain enemies, like the ones I still have issues with, then again, I still suck at the game. The Black Knights. It is a single enemy, usually in an area where you can easily clear out the fodder. And he could still kick your ass fairly easily.
You're not prepared for him. He'll kick your ass up and down the sidewalk.
And it's not because he hits you and, oh, look, there goes half your fucking health. Well, depending on your armor.
Okay, sometimes it is that.
Shut up, Aaron. I'm usually wearing the thief armor, or something very light at that point.
At which point he does take out half your health.
Yeah. But either way, if you're wearing armor, and you have a weapon, you're closely enough matched that it's not going to be super hard. It's a really good AI.
Yeah.
But I did not see anything like that in this game. Aaron kept saying, oh, the AIs are smarter, the AIs are smarter.
I still think in some regards they are smarter, but at the same time, the intelligent AI is not actually utilized. Like
I will say in the DLC, the NPC invader who likes to stand there as a white ghost and wave at you and be all friendly until you turn around, that was awesome, and I did like that very much.
That was
especially because I got to see Aaron die.
I got backstabbed by him in Dani's world because we still didn't know that he was an actual invader.
He was being nice. I even attacked his ass in your world, and he didn't do anything. He ran away. I'm like, wait, I don't think this guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I got really annoyed because not only did he run away, but you motherfuckers chased him and left me with the actual invader.
Yeah. I didn't actually expect Josh to follow me after him. Or maybe I was following Josh. I'm not sure. We both ran
was
after
following
him.
you because I thought you were running after the invader.
Oh, no. I was going after the NPC one.
Yeah, dirt.
Right.
But yes, there are points to the game that I do like. The fact that I actually remade another character recently and I'm going to start over, mostly because another thing that annoys the living piss out of me. Why is Twinkling Titan hard to obtain? Why?
Without putting an area in New Game 10,000 just to get the enemies that keep respawning that drop it.
Another thing I've seen a lot of people complain about, which I also do, but in a way I also kind of like it. It's kind of a back and forth, is the finite spawning of the enemies. That way you can't mindlessly grind unless you make shit harder.
I actually do think that was I think they could have raised their drop rate of some important items like the Twinkling Titanite if they were going to have limited spawn.
I mean, because if you just keep making them harder and harder, it's going to be even harder and more annoying to try and get it.
Yeah.
Thank you, I don't like doing that, it's annoying.
Yeah, I think the
Plus,
limited...
running through the area before the Shrine of Winter just to get Aaron his second spear was annoying because I had to do...
Daniel's so nice.
Yes.
The jerk wouldn't drop it for me.
He didn't drop it for me the first 2 times either.
Me neither. I think that the limited respawn, I think it's a good thing they added, though they I really think they should have upped the drop rate on certain items, especially the Twinkling Titanite. Because, like, a great example of something I'm really glad they added is being able to respec your character.
Yes.
I love that.
Something
Danny,
you
we
have
can
not...
tell Danielle loves it.
Yeah,
I've utilized
she's
that
done-
so many times.
You've abused it.
I don't care. It saves me from recreating another character and having to go through all the bullshit just to get where I want to.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing feature, but the only drawback is, like, if you invest, like, Twinkling Titanite, for example, into a set of gear for a specific build, and
Yeah.
then you want to try out another build, if anything of that new build requires Twinkling Titanite, you now have to go finding it. I
Yeah.
think Twinkling Titanite's the one resource that was the most annoying. It's
I think
like,
Twinkling
Tell me about
Titanite is pretty much the only thing you two are complaining about.
yeah,
Well, it was the only thing. It's like every... like, if I wanted to wear heavy armor, the only heavy armor I wanted to wear used Twinkling Titanite. The weapons I decided I wanted to use, the what was it, dragon something axes. It looked really cool, really awesome. Use Twinkling Titanite to upgrade, and it's like, son of a bitch.
Well, most things did use it in this game, which was really stupid.
Yeah, if they were
If you're gonna make it really hard to get, why do you? And the thing is, it wasn't even boss items that used Twinkling Titanite. You'd think boss items would be harder to get the material for, not just normal weapons that were just rare.
I got plenty of the petrified dragon bone. That stuff isn't too difficult to get.
But it also
Once you get to that dragon area, it's really easy to get to.
Yeah.
Well, the petrified dragon bone, it also takes like 15 pieces to level up one piece of equipment.
True.
Well, everything it takes only goes to +5.
Yeah. Which is another reason. Twinkling Titanite, it takes a lot less to level up a weapon or armor or whatever, and it only goes to +5, and it's still insanely hard to get.
Yeah.
To the point where I said, fuck it, I'm gonna make a new character because I already used all my Twinkling Titanite on something else I don't even remember.
Yeah, in Dark Souls, you could either buy Twinkling Titanite from the giant, or you could farm the crystal crab creatures in order to get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
either one
why
of those.
why not make it something you could, like, basically, if after you kill Vendrick or whatever, after you basically beat the game but don't restart, you can go to Majula, and as long as you have the souls, which are easy as hell to get,
Yeah, at this point.
you can level up anything you want as long as it uses just normal Titanite. Like, I have so many weapons now that are like +9 or 10, because I just be like, oh, I want to see what this weapon does. Level it up. Oh, I didn't like it? Oh well.
Yeah, like
Because those are infinite. Why not make Twinkling Titanite the same?
Yeah, you have to be very sparing with Twinkling Titanite and basically really consider what you want to level up, which isn't necessarily... Now, in some games, I wouldn't see that as a bad thing, but when the previous game had the ability to get infinite Twinkling Titanite, and then you take it down to being much more limited...
Much.
Yeah. If it had just been a straight thing all the way through, where it was hard to get, and so you had to be very sparing with it and think carefully of what you leveled up, we probably wouldn't complain about it so much. But it is simply because that it was easy to obtain in the last game, and they just made it harder.
God, did they make it?
And,
I'm switching topics. Another thing that annoys me in this game. Hitboxes. They're either way too big or way too small, depending on whose hitbox it is. A very good example of this, I believe it was last night we were playing. Excuse me. Mountain Dew, it's warm. Last night we were playing in my world. I'm the host. It's my game. I have better internet than anybody here. Then again, if we weren't being invaded, it was just a normal enemy. Normal. The fact that I was 3 feet away from his sword when he swung it, I still took damage. Why? When I roll out of the way and the sword does not touch me, why should I take damage? Especially a big chunk like it hit me head on.
Yeah.
That should... That's... it annoys the living shit out of me.
One of the biggest complaints I have, I hope they're listening, they nerfed the fucking Zweihander.
Josh's love for the Zweihander is unmatched.
Yes,
I love that sword.
You all made him.
The shit out of it.
You all made it where he wanted other things other than it.
Made him
It felt like they dropped the durability. The swing pattern was a lot slower, it felt like, too.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel nearly as OP as it was.
Well, they did the same thing, really, with the Uchi-Katana. I mean,
Yeah.
in the last game, I got the Uchi-Katana. That was the only weapon I used.
Actually, didn't it kind of feel like every weapon had shitty durability in this game?
They lowered the durability on everything and made sure that durability went down a lot faster, so you had to, stay on top of that.
Which is annoying. Why do that? That's just... Why not just...
It's...
Why did
I think it's supposed to make you, like be more careful and keep an eye on your gear, because neither of the other previous games you really had to worry about it.
Well, that's because the other two games did it just about like every single other game. It's like a thing because it makes sense. Why would sitting at a bonfire or whatever restore your shit? I didn't know you were a blacksmith. How are you fixing your sword? You sat down. The magical dust helped you.
In Dark Souls, you get a blacksmith box, and you can upgrade your own gear.
Wait.
Yes, you get that stuff. You had to buy
Danielle,
that stuff.
the fact that sitting in a bonfire, a magical bonfire that resets an entire area of the world and brings things back to life,
Shut up,
fixing
Josh.
your sword doesn't make sense, but throwing a powder in the air makes sense.
Shut up, Josh. Nobody asked you.
He's got a point.
Shut up. Either way, it's the fact that you sitting at a bonfire with no other tools fixes your sword in this single game, unlike where the other two, you actually had to go back to the blacksmith and fix your sword before it broke and you were fucked.
You had repair powder on the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also got a
As
box
long as you
where
didn't kill the one NPC that sells infinite supply of it.
and you could also buy an item to fix it at the bonfire.
Also, a thing with putting enemies and like just a shit ton of enemies in unneeded places.
Yes.
The two little bastards at the top of that ladder whenever you're going to get repair powder are the most annoying pieces of shit I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
when you go back to Dreglike Castle
Yeah.
from the first bonfire there.
Right there is always a good time to have a big weapon. That way, as soon as you get to the top, just swing. That's what I did.
Zweihander.
Exactly.
They
And
even
the
made
attack pattern on
Zweihander
two-hander. Well, I didn't mind that. The two-handed part of it annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, didn't they change its moveset?
I don't think they changed it. They just made it harder to hit on the second swing. Because I rarely ever got a hit with it.
I do have something I did like about the game that I wish if they're making more to this series, they would continue to keep with that, which I'm pretty sure they are. Good job on the dual wielding. I do enjoy that.
Oh yes, I love the dual wielding. As anyone could tell from my about half my playthrough.
And now I'm starting to get into it, and it's just like, hey, fuck the shield. I like this. I got either two fisticuffs, or now I'm rocking two Mastodon greatswords.
Why do you think I spent so much time dual wielding lances?
Shut your mouth. I wanted to dual wield katanas, but katanas are kind of shitty in this game.
Yeah, you have to get like just the right katana.
I mean, I had the Dark Drift and the the Dark Drift and the.
Well, the Dark Drift wasn't meant to have high attack anyway. It was mostly because it had that special where it could go through shields. But okay, that's one thing. That's one thing I don't like, though. The weapons that go through shields only do it if you do the strong attack. Even the Shotel, they took that away from the Shotel, which I was okay with the Shotel having that go through shield thing.
Well, it was one sword that did it.
Yeah.
Well, heck, in this game it was only two.
Really?
I do like the dual
Shotel and the Dark Drift.
I do like the twin blades.
Yes, the blades are
those
cool.
those were another cool thing they added.
Though, sadly enough, I have not used one in this game yet.
They're really quick, which is what I like about them. And mine does massive amounts of damage because I have magic on it, but...
Yeah, you have to take, they always look like they have low damage, but you always have to take into consideration you're going to be hitting about 3 or 4 times a second.
Yes, basically it's like you're taking... It looks like a weapon that would be strength, but it's actually damage per second. You're like the rogue that's going stab, 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 while you're going...
One thing that made no sense to me with mine is my one-handed attack pattern with it is quicker than the two-handed.
Really?
Yeah.
That is weird.
That is weird. I don't think many of them are like that.
I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
I don't either, but it is.
Well, it is a... Well, no, that I don't know.
And just one complaint about Dark Souls in general, scythes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like them, but I will admit most of the ones they call scythes aren't like they don't look like scythes.
Yeah.
I,
I mean,
Halberds.
I do. A lot of them look like halberds, and I understand what a scythe actually is. And yeah, they got it right in that. But what people know a scythe as is not what they're giving you.
Well, the thing of it is, that was actually, like, the Great Scythe, that was a scythe. That's what they used to clear the crops and shit.
I didn't like the regular scythe because it was just a halberd.
Yeah, I know.
Though
I don't like how they nerfed the Great Scythe, because apparently in the first Dark Souls, that was the best dex weapon.
Yeah, arguably the best dex weapon.
They nerfed a lot of really good weapons.
I did like one thing about scythes is they gave them a more unique moveset, yet at this
But it made them a little more difficult to fucking use.
Yeah, they did. Like I've tried using the scythe you get from the Scythe of Want.
Oh.
I just like you can ask Josh or Danny. I like scythes. They're my favorite weapon, but it's tough to get one that I really like in this game. Because like the thing I hated most in Dark Souls was they all you swung them like it was a pickaxe.
Yeah, no. Why? You don't... In no way, shape, or form should you swing a fucking scythe like a pickaxe. Never. Even if you're actually using it for its intended purpose.
Yeah, that's why I liked in Dark Souls 2 they did change the move setup so it was more of a sideways slashing in most of them.
Which was kind of annoying when you were dual wielding the Great Scythe in this game. You just kind of pick it up.
I don't think that one is really meant to be dual wielded. I don't think they really anticipated people really seriously using that one.
I see.
Dual wielded friggin' way-handers.
Which made you a boss.
You don't think they thought about, oh, maybe they'll dual wield these scythes?
Well, I think scythes
why
are a little wonky for dual wielding.
They probably are, but...
I don't understand why they couldn't have the same swing set as the great swords. If you're dual wielding, why not just take them across and swing them like that? That seems logical. Instead of picking it up awkwardly to your side and then swinging it straight down in front of you. Which is very ineffective, by the way. I nearly got my ass kicked by an invader because I tried to do that, and yeah.
Yeah, the big thing about a scythe is it's supposed to be a wide room. It's supposed to be a crowd control type weapon.
Exactly. A good example of a good scythe in a game. Heck GU, the scythes in that game were awesome.
Oh, yes.
I did enjoy them.
So much so.
Really obscure game reference? Check.
It is not to me and Aaron, okay?
It is to most people.
Me. It's not to me either. I played the hell out of them, but I'm just saying a lot of people haven't played.
Still love them. Would love to see an HD remake on the PS3 or PS4, and I would happily do a series of it.
Here, I would help you. Somehow. I would find a way.
Maybe on your own channel for once?
Shut up.
She has only posted one video to her channel since she started YouTube.
In my defense, which, Aaron, you can suck an ass.
It's not a defense.
I recorded an entire episode and never hit record.
Wow.
Yes, and I've had to completely redo 2 episodes.
Do you realize in a horror game you cannot get those jump scares back?
True.
Anyways, DLC.
Alright, yes, let's start with the DLC. Shrine of the Sunken King.
What? Oh,
the first one.
For some reason, I don't remember a whole lot
loved the final boss fight in that one.
I do remember playing a practical joke with the fucking invader. That was funny. But,
Your friggin' invader helped you get shit. Shut up.
Yeah, your invader just gave you stuff and left.
Yes, that was
nice.
nice.
Such a rare thing to have happen.
I'm still missing like 3 bonfires in that area. I don't know
why.
I'm sure I know which ones you're missing.
I did have an invader apologize to me once because he invaded me at a very inopportune time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
At least not all of them were jerks.
I remember one time I had somebody invade me, was watching me fight an enemy, and took so much pity on me, they just shook their head and left. I'm like, oh, the invader don't want it.
I'd say one of the nicest invaders I ever had that didn't give me stuff he invaded while I was in the middle of fighting a bunch of enemies, and he just kind of stood there off to the side and waited for me to finish. And like I at that point I was not used to that type of invader. So as soon as I got done, I did a bow to him and we fought. I can't remember if I won or lost, but it was just really nice to see one of them that didn't like take advantage of a situation.
I will say, in Dark Souls 2, I have seen a lot more, I don't know, honorable invaders, but I've also seen it's like just as equal as like really cool invaders to asshole hacker invaders.
I've just seen a lot. There's just a lot of invaders in this game.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like there were a lot more.
the big thing is that the soul memory, it's basically casting a net. Like this is the basic way I can compare the soul memory is that the higher your soul memory is, the bigger your net is of invaders that you can get caught up in.
The thing I don't understand that kind of annoys the fuck out of me with invaders, if I am wearing the Ring of Blood to summon people from the same god or whatever they're wearing the same ring as, why could I be invaded by an invader in any other world? It's just annoying. There should be like a very small chance that somebody not wearing that ring could invade me.
Okay. I did in the DLC. I really did like the mechanic where you could move the area around and alter everything.
The switches.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
It was a great way to like confuse enemies or get away from difficult situations.
I still don't think I went to every spot in the area.
I haven't.
Well, considering the fact that I'm missing bonfires, obviously.
Final boss in that, definitely badass. The side boss in that was pretty cool.
Yes, it was.
The 3 enemies.
Yeah. It was nice to see Havel again. Shake his hand,
I don't think that was really Havel.
kiss his head. Shut up, Aaron!
I killed him.
She just desperately wants it to be Havel.
Frick,
Just
killed
like,
the guy.
just like it's fucking Ornstein in the beginning. I still
That
expect.
is Ornstein. I don't care what you're saying, that's Ornstein.
We
Ah!
killed Ornstein.
Shut. No, Smo killed Ornstein.
Well, we killed him again.
No, in my world, I killed Ornstein.
You're a dick.
I had to get past him. Had to get to the chick with the big boobs.
I'd say there's
Anyways.
more to life than big boobs, but I'd be lying.
There's not. Anyways,
Exactly.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Getting
I
tired,
don't know.
Aaron.
Were there a lot of archers in this game?
No,
Yes.
Well,
Don't you dare. Yes.
I guess it
there was.
depends on the area. There were a lot of them in certain
Well,
areas.
I mean, in this game overall, there were a lot of enemies that were really unneeded, mostly there just to piss you off.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of, felt like snipers or archers everywhere.
Well, considering the fact that the flamey lava castle place
Yeah.
is
Oh,
full-
those guys.
full of alone knights with giant bows that want to wreck your face, and will do so with bendy arrows, apparently.
Yep.
Not to mention in Broom Tower, there's also those ghost fuckers who like to shoot at your face with a large bow and arrow. Whereas, in my memory of Dark Souls 1, the only place I really remember having to deal with archers that were a pain in the ass was the Silver Knights.
Yeah. Those those
Uh,
dragon bow archers.
I'm gonna say the alone knights in this game were probably the black knights of this game. They were the only ones with good, smart AIs and skilled fighting.
They
And
were.
they didn't just overwhelm you.
Yeah,
And
usually
they're-
it was like one at a time, maybe two.
yeah, they didn't overwhelm you. You could be the closest thing to being overwhelmed with them
Is
would
if
have
you
been.
ran.
Well, no, if you went out to fight one and you didn't handle the archer, because then you'd have the archer shooting at you as you're fighting.
Yeah. And if they
Anyways, I
got
thought we were talking about the DLC.
Yeah, we're supposed to still be on.
you,
I don't know when I got to
We're jumping all over the place.
I'm tired.
This is kind of a rambly review.
Whee! Chaos!
And, anything else to be said about the first DLC?
The big
Dragon was cool.
Dragon was awesome.
dragon was cool.
We will say that for the end of time.
The big monster things down in the bottom part. They were kind of they were assholes, but they were kind of cool.
They were. That was an interesting creature to have there, and there isn't really any items for them, so there isn't a whole lot of lore to go on about them.
I know.
Then again, overall, the lore in Dark Souls 2 wasn't as good.
Well, it just depends. I don't know. I didn't actually go through and read as much.
Definitely talking about this makes me want to play the DLC from the first one.
Well, that's because that was an awesome DLC.
It
That was a
was,
DLC
really.
done right.
I just
Yeah.
want to play the first Dark Souls again. Period.
We'll do that another time.
Yeah.
Well, but overall I think we agree. A dragon side boss, cool. Everything else, eh.
Okay, so second DLC, Crown of the Iron King. Let's just
Don't
go ahead
remember
and
it.
get it. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. The side boss of that was a stupid palette swap of a previous boss that isn't that entertaining. And one thing that really irritated me was if you do read some of the information about the Iron King, he apparently tried to make an iron dragon, which I would have loved to have fought.
I wouldn't. It would have been cool to see, nice to look at. Don't want to fight it.
The only thing I remember about that DLC was the bullhead we kept meeting each other at.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
the foyer room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I remember from it.
And I guess I follow lore better, but the lore for that Fume Knight was pretty cool.
Well, Aaron, of course you followed the lore better. You read it to everybody.
Yeah.
Every time you get a new item, you're like, ooh, let me read it.
I didn't do that as much in the third DLC.
Because we're pissed off that it didn't record anything.
That and the fact that the enemies from that one were the same as...
Yeah, the main enemies in each DLC was the exact same, which is not something I'm happy about.
Yeah, I hate fucking retextures. It was so fucking annoying.
They may look cool, but come on.
They didn't even really look all that cool for enemies.
The special version of the base enemies look cool in the first and the third. And I got the armors for both of them. The golem.
Seriously, I can't remember anything about the second DLC.
I can't remember anything about the first one for some reason, other than the dragon and the weird toad things in the bottom.
I remember all of it. I remember most of it, I guess I should say.
Well,
I
that's
don't
probably
remember the second one because it was just forgettable to me.
I kind of like that one, but I do think I like the first one better.
I think we all like the first one better because the final boss was really original. It wasn't just a dude with a dude in armor with a sword.
I
He
will
was
admit,
a douchebag though.
It was.
I know we're not talking about it yet, but I really liked the last one. It was actually pretty good.
Besides a few parts.
Besides the retextured side bosses.
The third one, yeah, I really did like it. It was surprising a lot more different.
You just get
Like
me.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I go after Josh.
Okay, go ahead. Speak of the. Are we at the? So are we moving on to the third DLC then?
I guess.
I thought we were.
Okay, then say what you want to say.
I like Alva.
Alva was a boss.
Alva was awesome.
Alva.
The tiger.
Yeah, I know.
I find it interesting. The bosses we're liking the most are the ones that aren't humanoid.
Well, yeah, why would we like humans? Humans are boring.
Well,
I mean,
I
like
went
in the
John-
last one, what was his name? Artorias was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's mostly because if you think about it, a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 and its DLC, a lot of them are humanoid.
Well, because a lot of them were just, hey, this one dude that died, now he's come back, he's really pissed off, you should fight him.
Yeah.
Another thing I did kind of like about the last DLC, but the way of going about it was a little annoying. The fact you had to use the small soapstone. Why was that even a thing? Why couldn't we just eliminate that?
I kind of like the whole, the area's kind of sectioned off, and then you can go back and claim everything else later, but...
Well, I like the whole thing about going back and getting the Lois Knights. But why on earth would you make it where you had to use the small soapstone?
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
It's just like, why? Why was that a thing? Because there's not even an area between Ava and the final boss. I mean, why did you have to do that?
Well, it should have been once you get past, like, the doors to that side area, you could use the large one, but...
Yeah.
That would have been okay with me, but... I don't know.
I
The
don't
rabbits
know.
were fucking annoying.
Yes.
Although they were an interesting enemy.
They were, but...
Which
they were-
enemy?
The rabbits. Kind of
Yeah,
like
they were
fuckers, if you
a-holes.
stood too close, they would kill you.
Then again, every Souls game so far has had a version of that enemy that rolls into you and does damage.
this one had pinwheels.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
I don't remember where, but there was pinwheels.
The 3 skeleton dudes.
Yeah, I remember.
yeah. Demon Souls had the Skeleton Knights. Dark Souls had the pinwheels.
Okay.
Dark Souls 2 had pinwheels and rabbits.
God, I
By
hate
far,
jump.
skeleton knights are the coolest out of
They
all of them.
are.
They were. I hated jumping in that damn hole and running away from the pinwheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could just hear them like directly behind you, but you can't see them, or you see the tip of their wheel jumping into the screen. It's just like, oh, they're gonna kill me. God, I just remember walking into that area, and Aaron's like, "Be careful of the pinwheels!" Just as 3 of them slammed into my face, and then just shredded me against the wall. I was like, "What was that, Aaron? I'll see you in a minute, because I'm dead."
Yeah. I remember that.
They, for some reason, they gave me a false sense of, I can take them.
Because they don't look tough.
They did not
Yeah.
give me that, because all I seen was 3 spinning wheels with spikes on them, and then they cheese grated my face against the wall.
Yeah.
Aaron's like, "Be careful!" That was
Too
it.
late.
They all targeted me, and I got fucked.
Oh, I don't know if they had this in the last game. I can't remember. The ring that increases your poise break on an enemy.
I don't
Actually,
think
They
so.
had the item that increased your poise, but not one that let you break the enemy's poise. I
I
agree,
like
that
that.
was a good ring. Like, I end
even
up...
though I quit using it after.
I
a very
use
short
it
time.
with my... I used it for a while with my spears because it allowed me to stack... The poise breaking on my lances are pretty good, so dual wielding that plus that ring lets me stagger enemies pretty good.
Well, when I started using the ultra great swords, I stopped using it.
True, your
I-
poise break was amazing then.
I do like the fact that this game, out of any other game I've ever played, actually gave you more than 1 or 2 fucking ring slots. It's like, I'm sorry, I have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I can stick as many fucking rings on there as I want to.
Yeah, this is the first game ever that I've ever played that gave you more than 2.
Yeah. I think mine too.
And I think it's something that other games should follow.
And of course, I still, even with 4 ring slots, I would find those.
Can I have a 5th
Free
ring?
ring. Huh?
Can I have a 5th ring now?
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
right?
Once you get what you want, you're still not satisfied.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact that it's like I always
There are
had-
some. Go ahead.
Well, it's like I always forgot to take off that goddamn ring so we could summon each other. Is either I forgot to take it off, or it was replaced with the life ring when it was my world. So that's 1 ring slot. I always had the dragon ring on, the last one or whatever, 3rd dragon ring, whatever it's called. I always had my Chloranthy ring on. And so that leaves me 1 little spot to switch around. And I usually always forgot what I put there.
I liked the four rings, but it always seemed like there were a few rings that you just had to have on, no matter what.
Well,
And it was like, well, those aren't ring slots anymore. Those are just that ring.
they're now
Yeah.
permanent placeholders.
Like
Yeah.
my chlorine ring, I never took the damn thing off after I got it.
I didn't really wear the Chloranthy ring. I think I would say the only one that made me feel like I had to have it was the dragon ring, the third dragon ring, and the royal soldier's ring. Simply because I was wearing heavier stuff, and I wanted to keep under 60% durability so I could roll fast.
Durability.
Not durability. Equipment load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even
whenever
use the knight one. I just
When
used
I
the
was
dragon one.
When I was a tank, I got all my stuff up high enough to where I didn't need those rings, and now I haven't dropped it ever since. So,
So it's never an
Basically.
issue for you.
well, it hasn't been that big of an issue. I mean, in the beginning it was, because obviously in the beginning you're gonna have difficulties getting your stats where you want them. But that's what this game's really good about,
I like
making
how
you feel like shit at the beginning.
I like how my character is basically mentally retarded and has absolutely no faith.
No
Low
intelligence, no faith.
And no attunement either. But everything else is fucking skyrocketed. At least 40 something.
Well, I got my intelligence all the way up to 96 or 95.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even though I'm not using that mundane spear anymore, I'm still keeping my stats completely even for the most part.
Well, if you ever decide to switch back to it, be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna play with this for a while. That weapon was fucking OP.
It was OP.
It just took forever to fucking get it to that point, though.
And, well, you know how I am with grinding, so it wasn't that difficult for me.
Why didn't you
Annoying.
just go to, you know where the lion guys are?
'Cause
Just
we
go and
didn't have-
stand in that corrosive stuff.
Because that breaks your armor, not your weapons.
It doesn't break your weapon.
There's like two different corrosive crap that one damages your armor and the rings and stuff, and then the other one damages your weapons.
Yeah, I remember I tried testing that and it didn't work.
I would say I would have just done that and then walked away.
Yeah, I tried just stripping down and just leaving my weapon equipped, but it didn't work. So, I have one more topic for us
Yeah.
that I didn't prepare
God
you guys
damn
beforehand.
Alva armor.
I didn't want to prepare you guys beforehand because I just had found out about this recently.
Guess what my Alva armor's doing?
What?
The cape
Guess
thing.
The
what?
cape
Up.
thing is
There you
sticking
go.
up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
everyone remembers that part from when I was wearing that armor, I'm sure. But you sort of touched on this last night when we were playing Dani, but I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to save it for this. The possibility of more Dark Souls 2 DLC.
Okay. What is
And
find out.
there's one main reason why I believe it's possible. For anyone who doesn't know, if you have all of the crowns, the Iron King, the Sunken King, the Ivory King, and then Vendrick's King crown, if you then go to the Undead Crypt and what's that item that you use? The Ashen Mist Heart on Vendrick's armor, you can then go back into his memory and talk to him. When you're there, if you have all the crowns and talk to him, he will give you his blessing and call you the new monarch. And when he does that, it unlocks the full potential of the crowns, which makes it so that you can no longer go hollow. If you die, your souls drop, but you stay human. But here's the thing about that. That lasts until you go into your next game cycle. Whenever you go into the next playthrough. But you can't even get that option until near the end of the game.
That's annoying.
Because you have to go through the DLC, and the soonest you can have all the crowns is whenever you've gone to the Undead Crypt to kill Vendrick, that way you can get access to his armor, and you have to
Speaking
have
of-
the Ashen Mist Heart.
That Blouse was a bitch.
Yeah. So it's basically late game, and the only main boss remaining is the Queen. At that point, she's the only main boss left to you when you would have that power.
Wait, which? Oh, wait, what?
The one skeleton lady. The final boss.
Nashandra.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nashandra.
Chandra.
Yeah.
Like she's the only main boss left who you could have that power whenever you go fight her. And so, are you kind of at this point now meant to have that when you go fight her? Maybe it gives a extra cutscene or something.
Hmm.
Probably gonna test that later.
Hmm.
But
Work.
yeah.
Isn't there a ring that like makes it so you don't get cursed, or it takes fucking forever to get cursed?
But if you think about it, there isn't much point in giving you like an item that makes it so you can't go hollow if there's nothing else to really challenge you that would try to send you hollow.
Huh?
What?
You said something, Josh?
Josh?
Josh.
I said, yeah, there is a ring like that. But,
Okay.
yeah, what?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
God damn it. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Skype is... Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, I said, yeah, there is a ring.
You're lagging
Yeah.
something awful.
What the heck are you doing?
Your face.
That makes no sense.
Well,
Nothing.
he's doing your face. That makes a lot of sense. Gross sense, but
I
sense.
said nothing. I said nothing.
Oh, it sounded like you said your face.
I thought you said that too.
Gutter people.
Never.
So-
I live in the gutter.
Yeah, so what do y'all think the possibility of more DLC that has something to do with this new ability to not go hollow?
It could just be a thing for like the assholes who like to. I don't know.
Like that's
I honestly don't like it.
it seems like a weird mechanic to basically throw in at the very end of the game, essentially.
It seems like a mechanic that would have no purpose for a DLC, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
they
don't
could
know
do
what-
with that.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do with it though.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand it. Like, it's cool and all, yay, I don't have to worry about human effigies anymore, but so what about that?
The only thing
Oh, go ahead.
I say the only thing I could think of that could add a DLC that would have anything to do with that is if it would be like a setup for another game to which you actually end up curing the whatamachidoodle.
The undead
Oh.
curse.
Yeah, cursed.
Because, like, the crowns aren't a cure, they're just like a temporary suppressant.
Yeah, but in a way they could set up they could have a final DLC that sets up for a second game in which you do that.
I would normally
I,
say that wouldn't be something I would see FromSoft doing, but this new director's done a lot of things I haven't exactly agreed with, so...
Honestly, if they're gonna make another DLC, I'd like them to at least get someone that's creative to direct it. No offense to the guy, but
No more retextures, and if you're gonna give us a pretty weapon, don't make it a retexture of another weapon.
I do like the retextured weapons they have as, like, celebrations of the start of each new DLC.
I was disappointed
like
though.
those.
I was hoping to get like a unique weapon or something different. No, I just got a weapon I already have that's a different color.
I
Yank,
guess
spanky.
I didn't have those expectations. I knew they were all going to be reskins.
I
Again-
didn't read.
I don't think, like, I'm gonna compare this game to just, not compare it, but basically tear it to shit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think I would rather just play, I can't remember what it's called. Shit. The library in, Dark Souls 1. Sif.
Oh.
Duke's Archives.
Duke's Archives.
Yes. I would rather just play that level 50 times over than this whole game.
Ouch.
And I love... It's not a bad thing. I love that level. That's my favorite level of the whole game. But that's what I'm saying. I had more fun just playing that level than I did this entire game.
Yeah. Like, the director for this Dark Souls, he comes from working on Monster Hunter, and I've played Monster Hunter, so I can see where some of the influence is coming through onto this, and it's not in a good way, because in Monster Hunter you see a lot of reskinned enemies, but mostly because you need to have fight the same enemy tons of times, because you're trying to get their bones, their hide, in order to make new weapons and armor.
Someone probably should have told that guy, Dark Souls players are really picky and they don't like reskins.
The only reason why you should have a reskin is if it's the same exact enemy in the same area, and only to make it look different from everybody else. That way you don't have like a bunch of clones attacking you. The only reason you should...
If it's like in Dark Souls 1, whenever you went to, I'm going to call it the Underworld, I can't remember what it's called. There are all those, the Taurus demons.
Oh yeah. I always considered those to be more like a...
That was cool, because at least that was...
Those guys even had a reason for being there, because they're closer to the bed of chaos, the birthplace of demons.
Yeah, see, they were demons, and they were where all the demons come from, so...
And the thing is, they were also...
They should have been there.
They were, not to mention, they were also like the beginner level bosses. They were super easy. And so at this point, you should be able to kill at least 2 of them at a time.
I want to give a prime example of me not them redoing a boss, and there not being any real reason for it.
Jabba the Slut?
Yeah, the covetous demon. I've read the lore on that enemy, and it's kind of a I don't want to say sad story. It was a guy who was like very much wanting to be with the queen, the snakehead lady, before she was a snakehead lady.
Yeah. Okay.
And like his desire for her like caused him to like his body to corrupt into the covetous demon.
Huh,
That's his reason for becoming what he became. What is the reason for there being the same demon in the 3rd DLC? Who turned into this demon?
The snakehead lady, also known as Medusa in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Or
Gorgon and
she's
other...
probably one of the... Gorgon is what she was, not who she is.
Gorgon is the species.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is probably one of my favorite bosses, because it wasn't not necessarily wasn't original because it's from Greek mythology, but it was original to this game in the fact that it wasn't like any of the other bosses, really.
Yeah, she was different.
You really controlled the difficulty of that fight because of the whole poison everywhere.
Yeah, if you didn't know what you were doing and you just ran into that fight, then again, I guess you could kind of say the same thing for the Ava fight. If you didn't know what you were doing, like Aaron, who misled me into a shitstorm.
I didn't know any more than you did.
I don't care. You suggested
your world,
it.
your problem.
Yeah.
Josh, I know where you live. I will find you and beat the crap out of you.
There were a lot of fights actually like that in this game, where you had to do something before you got into the fight to make it. There were a lot of fights in this boss fights in this game, to where you had to do something before you got into the boss fight that would control the outcome of the fight.
Yeah.
Basically a puzzle before the boss, which in a way is kind of cool. I like that. I like having puzzles because then it's not just a mindless hack and slash.
It helps whenever there's like some sort of warning, like even if it's something small. Like if we'd paid attention enough to like the lore while we were going through there, it basically kind of said that the place was pumping poison up to the queen. If we were listening to all the stuff that was going on, then we might not have pieced together to get rid of the windmill right away, but it might have saved us from going into her fight as quickly.
I got a good example of what you're talking about. The Tower of Hade. if you're actually running around if you actually look towards the tower that the Dragon Rider is in, you can actually see that it's just like a pedestal in the middle of like this big open
Yeah.
area. And it'd be like, oh, what's this switch do? Click. Oh, hey, look, a section of the floor appeared. Maybe I should look for
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, that's why they put
I actually like that area.
That's why they put it in just the right spot where you would see it raising up.
I like that area because it reminded me a lot of On Orlando for some reason.
I'm still convinced it's on Orlando.
It probably was.
But the few of the fights, like whenever we had to do the puzzles before, every time we had to do something like that, it reminded me, and Aaron's gonna know the fight I'm talking from Demon Souls, where you have to kill the guys that are healing you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
I haven't
Fool's
made it that far.
Idol.
I haven't
Yeah.
made it that far. No spoilers.
Yeah,
Oh, that's no spoilers.
I'm
She's
telling
a-
Aaron because Aaron knows how to talk.
yeah. That was a jerk fight if you didn't know. Like, I think I found it on pure luck pretty well my first time playing.
Aaron.
Oh, what's this guy? Oh, I'm gonna kill him.
Hey, Aaron.
Huh.
Can we wrap up soon? I gotta go.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, it's been almost an hour, so...
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
If
Bloodborne.
there... Are we gonna...
Damn it! Get out of my head! I was about to say Bloodborne. Can't wait.
Yeah, we are all excited for Bloodborne, and we all will... Assuming Danny can get a PS4, we will do a series.
Well, I'm trying to save.
We will hold off on Bloodborne just to kind of give Danielle a little extra time. Because I think we should all do Bloodborne together.
Hey, Aaron.
Huh?
Can we? I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Can we not make it a surprise playthrough like this one?
Yeah, that was annoying, and you got pissy a lot over stupid stuff.
Okay, so should we play once and then come back and play
I'm
a
not.
second time?
I'm
when
not
we
saying
already
play
did?
once, but
No.
if we go ahead, I'm not gonna ruin anything for the audience, but I'm just gonna say I don't want to just wait for every night we have to record because that kind of made this a little
It did
longer than it
make
should have been.
it made
Yeah.
it very tedious and very annoying.
Yeah, that's the one difficult we have with the three of us because of our work schedules completely going opposite of each other.
Well, Aaron tends to work a normal-ish part-time shift. Josh works the nighttime shift, the graveyard, and I work whenever the fuck my manager wants me to work.
Mostly mornings.
Very lately, yes, but that was mostly because I actually told her, it's like, hey, I actually kind of sort of like the morning shift because then when I get off work, I can actually still go do stuff.
Yeah.
Which is,
I can technically do that. I'm just gonna be really tired if I don't go to sleep.
I would actually honestly prefer to have Josh's schedule.
It's better. I like it.
I like
I
it
get
because
paid
there's
more
less
for it.
that, and there's also less people.
I have to
Normally.
deal with meth addicts.
Dude,
Not
I
even a joke. Tweakers, just every night.
Dude, like here recently there's been like a couple different couples come into the store and there's this one woman and it's just like you cannot tell me this woman is not or was not a tweaker in the recent past. Just the way she acts, I was just like, you are a meth head.
I like how this quickly diverted.
It did.
We sidetrack way too easily.
I'm tired and I have ADHD.
Alright. Well, okay, that's probably gonna wrap it up.
All right.
So, final verdicts on Dark Souls 2 and its DLC?
Eh. It was
Good,
okay
bad.
to play.
I would not recommend the same guy in charge.
It would.
610 may play again.
I will probably play it again.
I
But
will too.
I will too.
is God. it. I'm trying to think of where to say it.
We like it, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't like.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
It's not like Dark Souls 1 where I have probably 20 characters or at least halfway through
Yeah.
the game.
Well,
Pretty much.
well, you don't have to in this game because of the respecking. That's why you
This
don't
game-
have 20 characters.
This game was fun. Dark Souls blew me away every chance it got.
Yes.
This game may have impressed me a couple times.
It had a few extremely good moments.
very few and
Yeah.
far between. But there were a few. There were
I
a
still
couple
want to know if
pleasant.
the Lost Center was
Huh?
Artorias. I said I still want to know if the Lost Center was Artorias.
The Lost Sinner has the soul of the Witch of Islip in it. It's
Damn
her
it.
reincarnation.
Yeah.
That was Artorias. Fuck you.
Artorias was. I'm pretty for sure Artorias was hinted at when we were in Broom Tower, which I still need to go and get that sword, by the way,
Oh yeah.
down in the hole, because I still need to get all my.
I honestly think that they might have just added that sword for fan service more than actual
Aaron, shut your face.
lore reasons.
Aaron, shut your face.
But
Shut your face.
that's gonna wrap up our review. Hope
Alright.
you all enjoyed.
Oh.
Have a good rest of your day. This is the three of us signing out.
Woo!
Bye.
Night. It's nighttime here. I don't know why Aaron says day. Good night.